Hello, this is Martin Gore from Depeche Mode.
Hi, this is Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode, and you are listening to
My Nerd World.
It is My Nerd World. Welcome to it. I'm your host, Jon Justice, with this special bonus episode of Depeche Mode, the podcast. So, if you're seeing this on your feed, and you haven't already listened to the main episode this week, be sure you go back in, depending on what your feed does in your podcast app, or however you enjoy the show. I hope you enjoy the show. So this is a bonus episode. I had an episode that did come out a few days ago. But in that time, the tour has started back up again, with 3 nights in Mexico City. And the big talk leading up to this was, will there be a concert in Mexico City? Will the Mexico City shows be filmed for the physical concert release? Word about a documentary that's being filmed potentially for European television. Well, I have further information to share with you, and it looks like I may have been correct in all of these rumors and trying to put the pieces together. So this goes back to a friend of the show who had emailed me a couple of months back and said that he had the opportunity to see and to speak with Peter Gordino from Depeche Mode, their live tour musician, and they were talking about the upcoming shows here in Mexico. And Peter Gordino had mentioned that they were going to be doing some filming. So I assumed that this is where the concert for the physical release would be filmed. Makes all the sense in the world. They haven't put out a physical release of concerts in Mexico before. Then came word that there is a documentary that was going to be filmed in Mexico that was potentially for European television. Then there was a lot of speculation of whether or not this was still going to be the location where the physical release for the concert would be filmed, if it was just the documentary, all these rumors flying around and various Depeche Mode sites talking about this. The friend of the show reached back out and said, it could have been this documentary that Peter Gordino was talking about. And I speculated earlier this week that maybe they're both combined. Well, I thought about this before, that perhaps there would be a documentary filmed, Anton Corbijn could still go and film the live concert. Then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I don't know, that doesn't make all the sense in the world. I mean, it kind of does, but at the same time, if you're already filming with a director in Mexico, it makes sense just to shoot all of it. Well, then we found out that this documentary is apparently specifically about the concerts. So that really got me thinking that, all right, this is probably going to be something akin to a 101 type situation. And it looks like it is. Now, I don't have confirmation that the filming being done will result in specifically the full concert live release on DVD and Blu-ray of the Memento Mori tour. However, I do have further details to share, and my guess is that, this is very much going to be along the lines of, say, Live in Berlin, when we got a documentary mixed in with live footage from Anton Corbijn, Spirits in the Forest, a documentary mixed in with live footage, and then we also got the full show. Something similar that we got with 101 after a long period of time. When 101 was initially released, we didn't get the entirety of the show released as well. We do have a portion of it, but not the whole thing beginning to end. The director himself has posted on Instagram, and I've seen photographs from the opening night on Thursday of the Memento Mori tour in Mexico City, and you can clearly see large cameras not a part of the stage presentation shooting the band for this documentary. So again, my expectation is that we're going to get a documentary about the concerts from this director, and it makes all the sense in the world that it'll include the entirety of the show itself. Plus, my thought about the theming of all of this turns out to be spot on. Here is what Fernando Frias said in an Instagram post. The time has come to tell you about the project to which I was invited. Depeche Mode entrusted the great director, Mexican cinematographer Fernando Frias, I'm not here anymore, to make a documentary about the concerts they will give next week, including aspects of our country, such as the culture of death, due to its theme in their latest album, Memento Mori, and some Mexican characters related to the history of Mexican electronic music, which is why they recommended me to interview along with this other individual. So this was not a post from Fernando, but from an individual who's involved with this particular project. Today was this interview. Let's wait for the results soon, which is due to the quality of the director will surely be very interesting. Then they go on to say, I hope this does not mean that there will be no live recording from this tour. So this is my speculation on it. Now, this could be a smaller project than what I'm detailing at the moment. I think there's a possibility here too. The details given here on Instagram they leave some wiggle room here in terms of, this Mexican cinematographer. I've never heard of them before. I don't know exactly how popular they are. So this could be something on a smaller scale that is just for a very specific Mexican audience. But it also could be something much bigger. I hope it's something much bigger because, as I mentioned in the main show earlier this week, I love this idea of the Mexican culture. And as the post here from Instagram says, the theme, of their latest album, Memento Mori, it really makes all the sense to go and have this very unique and something different that we haven't seen in terms of Depeche Mode releasing material apart from the albums that would feature so much of the Mexican culture. And thematically, it, again, makes sense to me. So time will tell on this. It could be that this is a separate documentary just meant for a Mexican audience, and we end up getting a completely separate, just straightforward concert release from the band. I'm inclined to think that this is something of a larger project that'll be released physically for fans that'll include the concert. But what do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you have further information, still continues to be an exciting time to be a Depeche Mode fan as the tour continues, heading back here to the United States very soon. I can't wait. I'm about 2 months out from finally seeing this show live. I can't wait for that. But I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts. The Jon Justice, JON, @gmail.com. If you are listening on YouTube, you can leave a comment there, and I'll share that on next week's main show. I want to make one more point, and then I'll wrap this up. I wanted to keep it short for this bonus episode. Did the rankings of the albums in this week's episode, and shared what my friend Matt had put together for his ranking of the albums. David Theofolt shared his thoughts and his rankings of the albums as well. And I was listening to a playlist that I had made, and there were a couple of tracks on there that I was kind of chuckling to myself that popped up on my playlist because I had ranked them fairly low when I did my specific song rankings for every album. And something occurred to me, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the show before, but even the songs that I don't enjoy from Depeche, and I'm at the moment thinking specifically of a few tracks on Spirit, Scum being one of them, Poor Man to a lesser extent, there still is for me this level of, yeah, you know what? I know I don't really care for this song, but the band still made it. It is still Depeche Mode music. And because it's still Depeche Mode music, even though I'm not a fan of that song, I'll still 9 times out of 10 listen to it because it's Depeche Mode music. Now, that was a lot different when I was younger, when I first discovered the band in 85, and then going through that amazing period, Music for the Masses, Violator, Songs of Faith and Devotion. And the lack of subjectivity that I had. I won't speak for you. I think a lot of fans of hardcore fans of bands, and especially Depeche Mode, when we were younger, there was a lack of subjectivity, it was more subjectivity and a lack of objectivity when listening to the songs. It was Depeche Mode, we loved it, and it was Depeche Mode, I didn't care. And then as you get more music and you have more to choose from, you can be a little bit more objective as you get older and you get further down the line of being a fan. Whereas during those years, anything that they put out, I just ended up loving. Now, granted, the majority of what they put out during that time period was awesome and is some of the best stuff they've ever done. But I still personally have those moments now, after all these decades, where even a song I do not like Eternal or Scum, I'll still listen to it on occasion when it pops up and go, you know what, it ain't the greatest song in the world, but it's still Depeche Mode. That's what makes it so special. All right. Thanks for checking out this bonus episode. I'll be back again next week. Further thoughts about this tour, more listener feedback from you as well. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you then. And as always, wherever you are, I hope you're happy, you're healthy, and you're safe. Thank you for listening to the show. Hope you enjoyed this little bonus episode. A surprise, everybody. And thank you to those who hung out till the end of the main show this week. I appreciated hearing from you. Talk to you later. Bye.